The universe is not silent. It is constantly in motion, constantly expressing, constantly communicating, especially to the ones who are awakened enough to hear it. If you have ever felt like something greater was nudging you, guiding you, trying to get your attention in strange, repetitive, or even miraculous ways, you are not alone. There is a language the universe speaks, and it is not with words. It is with vibration, synchronicity, intuition, and symbolism. If you are the chosen one, this message is especially important, because the more attuned you become, the louder the voice of the universe grows in your life. You're not imagining it. The universe is speaking to you, and it's time to learn how to understand its signs. Before we begin this deep exploration, make sure you watch this video until the very end. You were guided here for a reason, and you don't want to miss what is unfolding for you. At some point, you've likely asked for a sign, a miracle, or confirmation from the universe, and this is it. Take a moment to write your warmest wishes in the comments and type 77 to affirm that those wishes are already aligning with the energy of the universe. As more of us channel this light, we energize the collective field and draw miracles closer for everyone. This chapter is about wishes, yes, but it is also about decoding the conversation the cosmos is having with your soul. To begin understanding the signs the universe sends, we have to understand one essential truth. The universe is not linear. It doesn't communicate in the logical, step-by-step language humans typically use. Instead, it speaks in patterns, feelings, symbols, frequencies, and timing. This means its messages can show up as repeated numbers, strange coincidences, dreams, sensations in your body, or even obstacles that seem designed to redirect you. Often, the universe speaks loudest through what feels like disruption, but only because it is moving things out of your way to clear a path forward. If you've been seeing the same number over and over, like 111, 222, 444, or even 777, it is not random. These are known as angel numbers or divine codes. Each number carries a vibration and meaning. For example, 111 often signals new beginnings or manifestations coming into alignment. 222 is a sign to trust the process, to stay balanced, and to believe that your inner world is shaping your outer one. 444 is a sign that you are being protected, that the angels are near. And 777, well, that is a holy number of divine alignment, completion, and deep spiritual guidance. When these show up, pause, acknowledge the moment. Ask yourself what you were thinking, what you were feeling, or what decision you were considering when you saw that sign. The universe sends these messages to confirm your thoughts or to nudge you in a different direction. But not all signs are numbers. Some are events. Have you ever thought of someone and they immediately called or messaged you? Have you had a dream that later came true, or felt a sudden urge to go somewhere only to have an important encounter there? These are not accidents. The universe choreographs synchronicity as a form of cosmic punctuation. These moments are sacred intersections between the seen and unseen worlds. When synchronicities stack up in your life, it's a sign that your awareness is heightening. You are walking in rhythm with something greater than yourself. One of the most overlooked signs is resistance. We often think that if we're on the right path, everything should flow easily. But sometimes the universe speaks through closed doors. It prevents something from happening not because it wants to deny you, but because it wants to redirect you. When something is not meant for you, no amount of force will open that path. When something is meant for you, the way will be made clear, often in unexpected ways. Learning to read this resistance, not as rejection, but as divine communication, is one of the highest levels of spiritual understanding. Chosen ones feel the weight of this lesson deeply. Dreams are another major channel of communication. The universe often bypasses our conscious mind by sending messages through symbols in our dreams. If you keep dreaming of water, flying, falling, animals, or people from your past, don't dismiss these as meaningless. Dreams are encoded messages from the subconscious, which itself is the bridge to the divine. Keep a dream journal. Record your feelings upon waking. Ask your higher self before sleeping to show you what you need to know. Over time, you will begin to notice patterns and meanings unique to you. Intuition is the inner whisper of the universe. It is not always loud. In fact, it often gets drowned out by fear, logic, or external noise. But every chosen one has experienced moments where a strong inner feeling told them to do or not do something. That quiet nudge, that sudden clarity, that subtle warning, that's the universe speaking directly through you. The more you trust it, the more accurate it becomes. It's like a muscle that strengthens with use, but ignore it too often, and you'll begin to feel out of sync, lost, or anxious. That disconnection is also a sign. It's the universe saying, "Come back to center." Nature is another channel. Birds, animals, trees, even the wind can be messengers. Ancient cultures knew this. A butterfly crossing your path, a hawk circling overhead, a fox appearing near your home. These are not random. The natural world is deeply in tune with the cosmic field. Animals especially can carry symbolic messages meant just for you. To understand these, you must be present, still, attuned. Look up the spiritual meaning of the creature, but also ask yourself, how did it make you feel? What were you thinking when you saw it? What was happening in your life? The universe crafts these moments with purpose. Sometimes the most powerful sign is a deep, soul-level knowing that cannot be explained. Chosen ones often experience a kind of internal certainty that something is about to shift. They may not be able to name it, but they feel it. It's like a quiet drumbeat in the distance, growing louder each day. This is not anxiety. It is not paranoia. It is your soul's antenna picking up divine frequencies. You are being prepared. When you feel this, do not rush to interpret it. Sit with it. Trust it. Let it unfold. Music, lyrics, books, and even random conversations can carry encoded messages. Ever turned on the radio and heard exactly what you needed? Or opened a book and read a line that felt like it was meant just for you? That's not coincidence. The universe speaks through all mediums available. It uses whatever it can to catch your attention. The more you stay open and curious, the more frequently these messages will arrive. They are breadcrumbs, and they always lead you deeper into alignment with your path. Pain is a powerful communicator. When we are out of alignment, the universe often uses discomfort to grab our attention. Physical pain, emotional wounds, repeated heartbreak, burnout. These can be wake-up calls, not punishments, wake-up calls. You are being asked to pause, to listen, to realign. The body speaks what the soul cannot. Learn to listen not just with your mind, but with your heart, your body, your spirit. There is also timing. The universe has its own calendar. Things may not happen when you want them to, but they always happen when they are meant to. Delays are not denials. They are alignment tools. Chosen ones are often placed in divine holding patterns so that the rest of the field can catch up to their vibration. You are not late. You are not behind. You are precisely where you are supposed to be. But you must trust the process. Understanding the signs means moving from ego to essence. It means surrendering control and becoming a student of divine flow. It means asking, listening, watching, and not needing to immediately understand. The signs are not puzzles to solve. They are reminders to return to presence. The moment you stop seeking signs and start living in alignment, the signs multiply. Because now, you're not just asking for signs. You are the sign. You become the vessel through which the universe speaks. Sometimes, the universe will repeat a message until you listen. This might come in the form of the same lesson over and over, a toxic relationship pattern, a job that drains your soul, a recurring health issue. These are not punishments. They are persistent love notes from the universe. You are worthy of more, they say. You are meant for different. If you've been ignoring these messages, the volume will rise, until eventually you cannot ignore it anymore. That moment of breakdown, it's actually breakthrough. The universe is not trying to break you. It's trying to break you open. The first part of this journey is becoming aware. The second part is trusting what you become aware of. But the third part, the most challenging one, is acting on it. When you understand the sign, the universe watches what you do next. If you receive confirmation and ignore it, the messages may pause. But when you act on a nudge, even if you're scared, something extraordinary happens. The entire cosmos rearranges to support you. Miracles multiply, doors open, and you feel for perhaps the first time truly held by something greater than yourself. The universe is always orchestrating what may appear to be chaos into divine order. For the chosen one, the path often seems lonely, unpredictable, and filled with moments of uncertainty. But within these apparent voids lie the strongest messages. This next phase of your spiritual evolution calls you into even deeper awareness, not just of what is happening around you, but of what is happening within you. Because the signs of the universe don't only appear externally. Some of the most important guidance you will ever receive comes from your emotional currents, your gut instincts, your sudden aversions or attractions. To understand the language of the universe, you must begin to understand yourself on a vibrational level. Every feeling, every impulse, every energetic pull is a compass. Before we go deeper into this chapter, I encourage you again to stay with this message until the very last word. You are drawn here for a sacred reason. These words are not by chance. They are a continuation of a conversation that your soul already started with the universe. If your heart resonates with this truth, comment your warmest, most heartfelt wish below and type 77. Your intentions are not merely thoughts, they are frequencies that affect the quantum field. Every wish you write with sincerity amplifies that sacred resonance. And as we come together in this energy, we do not just awaken our personal realities, we energize the entire web of connection that links us to all things. Remember, your wish is a declaration to the universe. I am ready to receive. One of the most important aspects of interpreting the signs of the universe is emotional sensitivity. This doesn't mean being reactive or overwhelmed. It means being tuned in. Your emotions are an incredibly advanced guidance system. When something expands you, excites you, makes your chest feel open and your breath deepen, that is a yes. When something contracts you, drains you, causes tension or unease, that is a no. This is not about overthinking. This is about learning the subtle art of feeling the answer. The universe uses your body as a tuning fork. The clearer you become, the more accurate the resonance. That pit in your stomach, that sudden warmth in your heart, that unexpected wave of peace when thinking about a choice, these are not random feelings. These are confirmations. The mind often gets in the way. It wants logic, proof, guarantees. But the universe doesn't communicate in that language. It doesn't convince, it invites. It doesn't argue, it aligns. As a chosen one, you are being called to live from your intuitive wisdom rather than conditioned beliefs. This means unlearning. It means letting go of the need to know how everything will work out and beginning to trust that it is working out, even when you can't see the full picture. That trust becomes your superpower, and it's in that state of surrendered alignment that signs become so frequent, so specific, so undeniable that they form a conversation, a sacred dialogue between you and creation itself. There is a timing to every sign. Often, the universe sends a sign not when you're ready to act, but when you're ready to awaken. This is why you might receive messages about a path long before you feel strong enough to walk it. The universe doesn't speak to where you are. It speaks to where you are becoming. It calls the future version of you into the present moment and asks, can you believe in what has not yet appeared? Your ability to trust the signs before the manifestation is a major leap of spiritual maturity. When you get chills reading something, or you hear a phrase that brings tears to your eyes, that's your soul remembering its path. Music is a divine conduit. How many times have you been lost in thought, unsure of what to do, and then a song comes on that speaks directly to your situation? The lyrics say what you couldn't say. The melody matches your energy. That is not just art. That is universal intelligence using frequency to reach you. The same is true for phrases you overhear, messages you see on billboards, or even typos that somehow seem to carry more meaning than they should. These glitches, in reality, are not glitches. They're signatures, divine breadcrumbs. Sometimes a single word can be the answer you are asking for. The universe also speaks through people, but not always the people you expect. A stranger might say something profound in passing. A child might ask a question that reveals an entire truth. A friend might unintentionally say something that answers a deep question you've been silently wrestling with. This is because the universe moves through all things. There is no separation. When you begin to truly grasp this, you will understand that everything can be a message and everyone can be a messenger. But discernment is key. Just because something stands out doesn't mean it's always a sign. The chosen one must develop a refined sense of discernment, the ability to feel the weight of truth in a moment. This comes with silence, solitude, and self-awareness. If you chase signs out of desperation, the noise will overwhelm you. But when you become still, when you make space, the signs find you. They land gently. They echo. They don't push you into confusion. They bring you into clarity, even if the message is challenging. Real signs don't feed fear. They bring light. Your environment often reflects what the universe wants you to notice. If you keep attracting chaos, delays, arguments, or physical breakdowns, it's not because you're cursed, it's because your frequency is misaligned. You're being asked to stop, recalibrate, and remember who you are. The chosen one is not immune to struggle, but they are equipped to extract meaning from it. Every repeated pattern in your external world is a symbol of an internal miscommunication. The universe reflects, mirrors, and responds. It does not judge, but it does echo. Pay close attention to the changes in your relationships. Sometimes, the people you love most begin to drift, or you feel a growing disconnection, or conflict rises for no clear reason. These too are signs. As your frequency shifts, your relationships begin to realign. This isn't rejection, it's redirection. People enter your life for seasons, lessons, or lifetimes. When the season ends, the universe gently, or not so gently, removes what is no longer in harmony. Letting go is one of the hardest lessons the chosen one faces. But in that release, new alignments become possible. What feels like an ending is often the clearing needed for a sacred beginning. Your body is one of the most precise instruments for receiving messages. Recurring headaches, tightness in your chest, gut issues, fatigue, all of these can be physical metaphors. The body stores unprocessed emotions and suppressed truths. If you ignore the gentle nudges, the whispers become screams. That's not a punishment. That's protection. Your body is trying to keep you aligned. Pay attention to where you feel tension. Breathe into it. Ask what it wants you to know. You'd be surprised how much clarity emerges from stillness and breath. The universe also speaks through your triggers. When something sets you off, it's often because there's a deeper truth underneath. If you feel intense jealousy, anger, or grief from something you observe, pause. Ask yourself, what is this really showing me? Triggers are portals. They highlight where you are still carrying wounds. The universe uses them not to shame you, but to wake you up. Healing is not a punishment. It's a return to power. The chosen one must learn to sit with discomfort, not as something to escape, but as something to understand. Sometimes silence is the sign. When nothing is happening, when there are no visions, no dreams, no synchronicities, it doesn't mean you're abandoned. It means you're in the womb of transformation. Just as seeds germinate in the dark, you too are being reshaped in the unseen. The pause is not absence, it's preparation. Chosen ones often mistake stillness for failure, but the universe does its most sacred work in the quiet. In these moments, your job is not to search, it is to be, to breathe, to trust. If you begin to live your life as if everything is meaningful, you will begin to see meaning everywhere. The chosen one doesn't wait for signs. They live in a state of awareness that everything is a sign. The bird flying across your path, the delay on your train, the song lyric that repeats in your head, the moment of eye contact with a stranger. These are not small things. They are subtle nudges from a universe that is not distant, but intimately involved in every breath you take. And as your trust deepens, the communication evolves. You stop needing constant signs because you begin to know. You become the sign. Your presence, your vibration, your courage to walk your path despite not having all the answers. This becomes a light that guides others. The universe speaks through you. Your choices, your healing, your rising. They ripple outward. The more aligned you become, the more you become the message. To fully understand the language of the universe, the chosen one must move beyond intellectual curiosity and into embodied awareness. This is not a process of collecting spiritual trivia or memorizing symbolism. It is a transformation of perception itself. You do not simply interpret signs, you become fluent in the frequency of truth. This requires you to retrain how you listen, how you watch, how you feel. It demands your presence. It does not reward those who rush, who demand answers on a schedule. The universe reveals itself to the patient, to the quiet, to the ones who have the courage to wait with open hearts. Synchronicities are among the most obvious and magical ways the universe communicates. These are not coincidences, they are messages, perfectly timed patterns of connection that transcend logic. The number you keep seeing, the person who calls just as you're thinking of them, the exact book falling off the shelf when you walk by. These are alignments. They say, you are in flow. They confirm, Yes, you are on the right path. But they are not just rewards, they are also instructions. The more you follow the pull of synchronicity, the more you are led into alignment with your highest timeline. It's essential to understand that signs often begin subtly. At first, the universe might whisper. If you ignore the whisper, it speaks. If you ignore the speech, it shouts. The longer you take to listen, the louder it must become. That ache in your chest, the restlessness in your spirit, the repeating patterns of disappointment, these are not accidents. They are feedback loops. The universe is trying to get your attention, and it will use whatever means necessary to do so, not to punish you, but to realign you with your truth. Even pain becomes a message. Dreams, for example, are one of the universe's most ancient forms of communication. In the dream state, the conscious mind relaxes, and the subconscious, the gateway to higher realms, opens wide. If you're receiving repeating symbols in your dreams, pay attention. They might not make literal sense, but their frequency matters. Is there a feeling that lingers when you wake? Does a particular image stir something inside you? Keep a dream journal. Over time, patterns emerge, themes arise, and through them, the universe reveals your internal landscape and what must be healed or pursued. Animals, too, are divine messengers. If a certain animal appears to you frequently, in real life, in visions, on TV, or even in unexpected moments, it may be carrying an archetypal message. A hawk may be urging you to zoom out and see the bigger picture. A cat might be reminding you of mystery and independence. A butterfly may symbolize transformation. These encounters are not random. The natural world is infused with intelligence, and it responds to energy, your energy. When you align, the world around you begins to respond in stunning harmony. Time is also part of this divine communication. When you feel off or delayed, it's not always an obstacle. It might be alignment in disguise. That missed bus, that postponed call, that moment where everything seems to slow. Sometimes, that's the universe keeping you from something that isn't meant for you or preparing you for something better. Divine timing isn't always convenient, but it is always correct. The more you surrender to it, the more peaceful your journey becomes. You stop fighting reality and start dancing with it. But here's where the chosen one often struggles. You may ask, what if I misread the signs? What if I'm just imagining it all? This doubt is normal. You are navigating a realm where logic cannot always follow. But the key is this: how does the sign make you feel? Real signs create expansion, resonance, clarity. They are not born of anxiety or desperation. If something feels forced or fear-based, it's not a true sign. Real communication from the universe will feel like a deep yes in your body, even if it challenges your comfort zone. You are not being led into fear. You are being led into freedom. Sometimes, the universe will send signs that contradict your plans. This is especially difficult when you're deeply attached to a certain outcome. Maybe you wanted that job, that relationship, that opportunity, but the signs keep pulling you elsewhere. The chosen one must learn to let go of attachment to form. The essence of what you desire will never be denied, but the form it takes may be different than you expect. Trusting the universe means trusting its design more than your own idea of how things should look. It means stepping aside so something greater can emerge. There will also be seasons of silence. These are not voids, they are sacred. The universe is still speaking, just in different ways. In these moments, instead of seeking signs outside, turn inward. What feelings arise? What are you being invited to face? Sometimes the silence is space for you to hear your own voice, and sometimes It is the universe holding you in stillness, preparing your heart for the next surge of clarity. If you can learn to sit in the silence with reverence, you will be ready when the next message arrives. Visions and inner knowings. These are gifts of the awakened spirit. You may find yourself seeing flashes of images in meditation or hearing phrases in your mind that seem to come from nowhere. You might just know something without explanation. This is claircognizance, divine knowing. It is not fantasy. It is direct communication, but it requires humility. You must not chase these experiences for ego or pride. Use them with gratitude. Let them guide you gently, not inflate you. The true chosen one walks with power, but also with deep reverence. Nature itself is a textbook of signs. The weather shifts in tune with your energy. Rain may arrive when you need to cleanse. Sunlight may break through at the very moment you feel hope. Trees may whisper messages when you walk in solitude. The way leaves rustle, the shape of clouds, the sudden gust of wind. All of these are pulses in the heartbeat of the universe. You are not separate from this ecosystem. You are a part of it, and the more you listen, the more it responds. Technology, ironically, is also used by the universe. You might get a notification that leads you to a message. Your screen might freeze on a quote you needed to see. YouTube might recommend a video that changes your entire mood. You might accidentally open a photo that reminds you of who you used to be and who you've become. The universe will use any available portal to reach you. Nothing is off limits. When you walk in awareness, you begin to see how even the digital world is being woven into your spiritual awakening. It's also important to remember that not all signs are meant to be understood immediately. Some are seeds. They are planted today, but they bloom months or years later. You might not get it in the moment, but something inside you stores it. Later, when the moment is right, it resurfaces with divine clarity. Trust the delay. Trust the unfolding. Trust that every piece has a purpose, even when it's still invisible. One of the most overlooked signs the universe gives you is resistance. If you are constantly struggling to make something work, if every door keeps slamming shut, if nothing flows, it may not be your path. That doesn't mean give up at the first challenge. But if the energy around something remains heavy, frustrating, and painful, despite your best efforts, it might be a divine no. The chosen one must learn the difference between a challenge and a warning. One strengthens you, the other redirects you. Know the difference. The universe speaks in movement. When your soul is aligned, life flows. People appear, resources arrive, inner peace expands. If everything around you feels chaotic, check within. Your external world mirrors your inner vibration. Raise it not by forcing, but by aligning, by returning to truth, by choosing what honors your peace. Every time you choose alignment over approval, authenticity over fear, integrity over convenience, you send a signal to the universe, and the universe responds. Sometimes, the universe sends signs not to comfort you, but to disrupt you. You might see a symbol that unsettles you. You might receive a message that challenges everything you thought you knew. This is not a mistake. It is the sacred disruption that precedes evolution. The chosen one does not grow in comfort. They grow in confrontation. When a sign shakes you, look deeper. It is pointing to a deeper truth you may have been avoiding. There is a frequency to truth. When something is truly meant for you, you feel it. Not in your ego, but in your essence. It calls you, gently but persistently. It does not need to shout. It does not confuse. It brings a strange sense of peace, even if it terrifies you. That's how you know it's real. The universe doesn't lead you where you want to go. It leads you where your soul needs to go. That distinction is what sets the chosen one apart from the wandering seeker. The more you respond to the signs, the more they increase. You create a feedback loop with the universe. It's a relationship, and like any relationship, it deepens with trust, with attention, with presence. When you say yes to the guidance, even when it's hard, the universe opens more doors. It sends more confirmation. It floods your path with light. But if you ignore the messages, if you second-guess every impulse, if you close your heart, the signs dim. Not as punishment, but because you're not tuned in. Let the signs lead you back to yourself. Every message, every synchronicity, every divine nudge is ultimately trying to bring you home, to your purpose, your truth, your power. You are not here to live a normal life. You are here to walk a sacred path. And the signs are the lights on that path. They are not there to make you dependent. They are there to awaken your inner guidance, your divine intelligence. You are not just meant to follow signs. You are meant to become the one who creates them for others. When you begin truly responding to the signs, chosen one, something incredible happens. Your life no longer feels random. The chaos starts to weave itself into patterns. The pain reveals hidden purpose. The moments you once dismissed as meaningless begin to shimmer with destiny. The more you trust in the divine intelligence of the universe, the more you realize that nothing, not a conversation, not a delay, not a song on the radio, is ever meaningless. You have entered sacred territory now. Your awakening has passed the threshold of curiosity. You are living in communion with the Source. Yet many chosen ones face resistance here, not from the universe, but from their own conditioning. You were taught to distrust your intuition. You were raised to prioritize logic over feeling, to view subtle signs as coincidence, to silence the whispers of your soul. So even as the universe pours signs into your life, part of you still doubts. Part of you says, maybe I'm just imagining this. That doubt is not your enemy. It is your old self, the version of you that relied only on the five senses, that believed only what could be measured, struggling to survive in your new world. Don't fight it, but don't let it lead either. You must understand, the universe doesn't just speak to your mind, it speaks to your frequency, and your frequency is shaped by your beliefs. If you believe that the world is against you, you will only recognize signs of resistance, betrayal, danger. If you believe that you are deeply supported, guided, and loved, you will see signs of hope, direction, and divine orchestration everywhere. The universe mirrors your belief system, not to deceive you, but to help you transform it. You are not just decoding signs, you are rewriting your reality by changing what you're willing to see. This is why your inner work is inseparable from your ability to understand signs. The more healed you become, the clearer the messages become. Trauma distorts perception. Fear fogs intuition. If your wounds are still open, even a gentle message from the universe can be misinterpreted as an attack or a threat. That's why the universe often brings signs in layers. First, it helps you feel safe. Then, it challenges your beliefs. Then, it invites your courage. Then, it reveals your purpose. You cannot skip stages. Each layer is sacred. Each one prepares you for the next. One of the most misunderstood signs is emotional repetition. If you keep encountering the same emotional reaction in different situations, shame, guilt, jealousy, rejection, that is not a coincidence. That is a divine spotlight. The universe is saying, this is the pattern that holds you back. Heal this, and you'll unlock the next level. But most people run from the pain. They distract themselves. They numb out. They try to jump ahead. But you, chosen one, are different. You know that your triggers are not obstacles. They are portals. And when you pass through them, your entire energetic field shifts. That shift doesn't go unnoticed. When your frequency changes, the people around you respond. Some will draw closer. Others will fall away. This too is a sign. The universe will rearrange your relationships to match your vibration. Do not chase those who leave. Do not cling to connections that dim your light. Each ending is a divine message. This version of you no longer resonates here, and every new soul who enters your life is another message. This one recognizes your light. You are not losing people. You are shedding old timelines. Energy doesn't lie. Words can deceive. Appearances can mislead. But energy always tells the truth. That is why the universe uses feeling as a core part of its language. You might walk into a room and feel an unexplained heaviness. That is not your imagination. You might meet someone and instantly feel expansive or drained. Trust that. Your sensitivity is not weakness, it is guidance. The universe uses your body as an antenna. The more you listen to it, the more aligned your choices become. Your nervous system is one of your greatest tools in interpreting signs. Sometimes, the universe will speak to you through disruption. Not because you did something wrong, but because you've outgrown something. A job may become unbearable. A routine may feel soul-crushing. A place may start to feel like a prison. These aren't failures. These are sacred discomforts. The universe is saying it's time to evolve. But evolution requires courage. Many chosen ones stay too long in old places, hoping the signs will change. But the signs won't change until you do. When you finally leap, when you finally honor the discomfort as direction, the path unfolds in miracles. And miracles, chosen one, are simply signs made manifest. They are not rare events. They are natural outcomes of alignment. The more you live in sync with divine timing, with inner guidance, with universal flow, the more miraculous your life becomes. What others call luck, you recognize as precision. What others call chance, you recognize as grace. What others call strange, you recognize as sacred. You are not waiting for magic, you are walking in it. But do not expect signs to always feel pleasant. Some messages arrive with thunder. Some arrive in heartbreak. Some arrive in silence so deep it echoes. These are not punishments. They are initiations. You must be willing to be undone, to let the old parts of you crumble, so the true parts can emerge. When something in your life falls apart without warning, ask not, "Why is this happening to me?" but "What is this making space for?" The universe doesn't destroy without preparing to rebuild. Trust the demolition. It clears the way. The more you live in alignment, the more your intuition sharpens. At a certain point, you won't need many external signs. You will just know. You'll feel it before it happens. You'll sense shifts in energy before words are spoken. This is not paranoia. It is perception. You are not becoming more anxious. You are becoming more attuned. The chosen one isn't just guided by the universe. They become a vessel for it. The line between inner and outer disappears. Your thoughts, feelings, actions, they all begin to flow with divine timing. But this level of sensitivity comes with responsibility. You must remain grounded. You must stay anchored in your body. Spiritual awareness without grounding leads to confusion, dissociation, burnout. That's why nature, stillness, breath, and ritual are so important. They root your power. They keep your channels clear. You can't receive messages clearly when your life is filled with noise. You can't notice synchronicities when your mind is addicted to stimulation. Create space. Protect your peace. That's where the guidance lives. Also remember, signs often arrive through service. When you help someone else, when you give without expectation, when you show compassion in a moment of pain, the universe responds instantly. You might receive a message, a gift, an insight right after. This is not a transaction. It's a reflection. Giving activates receiving. The chosen one does not hoard blessings. They circulate them. And in doing so, they remain in the flow of abundance. If your signs have slowed down, ask, where can I serve? And watch how the energy shifts. You may also notice that some signs come in clusters. You'll see the same number, the same animal, the same word everywhere for days. This is not overthinking. It's amplification. The universe is highlighting something urgent. Slow down. Reflect. What was I thinking when I saw this? What was I feeling? What question was I holding in my heart? The answer is often there, but it's subtle. Don't rush to figure it out. Let it unfold. Clarity rarely arrives through force. It arrives through surrender. The greatest sign of all is peace. If something brings peace, not comfort, not avoidance, but deep soul-level peace, that is your compass. If a decision creates harmony in your being, even if it's scary, follow it. If a relationship makes you feel seen, safe, and supported, nurture it. If a place expands your breath and quiets your mind, stay longer. Peace isn't boring, it's powerful. It means you've returned to resonance, and resonance is how the universe tells you, yes, this is for you. You'll also begin to notice that as your frequency rises, the people around you change. You attract different conversations, deeper connections, more aligned opportunities. That is a sign. The outer world is catching up to your inner transformation. Don't shrink to fit old dynamics. Don't dim yourself to remain relatable. The universe didn't activate you so you could blend in. It chose you to light the way. You are not reading signs. You are remembering them. This knowledge has always lived within you. Before this life, before this body, your soul spoke this language fluently. Now, you are relearning what was never truly lost. The chills you feel, the tears that come without warning, the overwhelming sense of, I've heard this before. Those are confirmations. Truth doesn't just inform, it awakens. And you, chosen one, are wide awake now. As you continue walking this path, expect resistance, but also expect wonder. Expect tests, but also expect triumph. You are not doing this alone. Every sign is proof that you are accompanied, supported, and celebrated. Even when no one else understands you, the universe does. Even when you feel lost, it knows exactly where you are. Let that truth be your anchor. Let it be your fire. At this stage of your journey, chosen one, the universe no longer whispers to you. It echoes through every layer of your reality. The signs become unmistakable. They grow in strength, precision, and synchronicity. Your life starts to move in harmony with unseen patterns, orchestrated by an intelligence far beyond logic. You're not waiting for messages, you're living them. And yet, as the signs become more obvious, the responsibility to act on them deepens. Awareness alone is no longer enough. You must respond. You must move. You must align. Many people wish to receive signs without being willing to change. They want confirmation, not transformation. But the universe doesn't send signs to validate your comfort zone. It sends them to break it open. A sign that doesn't challenge you is not from the divine. True signs will confront your attachments, your illusions, your denials. They will shake loose what no longer serves you. They will stretch you beyond the identity you've clung to. The universe isn't interested in maintaining who you've been. It's focused on who you are becoming. As you grow, the language of the universe becomes more advanced. It speaks in symbols that unfold over time, in sequences that only make sense when reflected upon in hindsight. It may speak through an innocent conversation that plants a seed in your soul. It may speak through a memory that resurfaces without warning. It may even speak through your mistakes, moments when you seemingly go off path, only to realize later that even that detour was divinely guided. There is no wrong road when you're connected. There is only deeper understanding, but you must be willing to pause. The greatest obstacle to recognizing signs is not ignorance, it's speed. In a world addicted to urgency, to multitasking, to constant distraction, many chosen ones miss the signs not because they don't care, but because they don't stop. The universe operates on divine timing, not human clocks. It often waits for stillness. That's why signs appear in quiet moments, during a walk, a meditation, a dream, or a breath. You cannot access universal messages in a frantic mind. Stillness is the doorway. You are the key. You will also begin to notice that some signs repeat not because you miss them, but because you haven't integrated their meaning. Seeing the same symbol again and again isn't always a nudge to act. Sometimes it's a reminder to embody. For instance, seeing a butterfly isn't just about transformation. It may be an invitation to live as your transformed self, to no longer identify with your caterpillar phase. The universe will keep reflecting your next step until you step into it. It is patient, but it is persistent. And while signs may become more frequent, they also become more subtle. The deeper your connection grows, the fewer fireworks you need. The grand gestures, the perfect timing, the repeated numbers, the inexplicable synchronicities may begin to feel ordinary. That's not because the magic has faded. It's because you've elevated into its rhythm. What once shocked you now simply feels like alignment. This is a powerful threshold. Do not crave spectacle. Crave clarity. True guidance doesn't shout. It resonates. Still, there are moments when the signs will go silent. This is not abandonment. It is initiation. The silence is a sacred test. Can you trust when the universe seems quiet? Can you walk forward without needing constant confirmation? Can you hold faith in the darkness? Silence is often a preparation for the next major message. The universe knows that guidance is only useful if you've developed inner stability. So when the signs pause, ask not what's wrong, but what's being strengthened. Sometimes the silence is the sign. There are also signs that appear through resistance. If every door keeps closing, if every attempt feels blocked, if a plan continually falls apart despite your efforts, that is not failure. That is redirection. You are not being punished. You are being rerouted. Resistance is a message in disguise. The universe may be protecting you from misalignment, from wasted energy, or from something your limited perspective can't yet see. Let go of the version of success you thought you needed. The detour often holds the greater destiny. Another important sign is divine repetition in dreams. Your sleeping state is a portal for messages because it bypasses the ego. When your conscious defenses are down, your soul becomes a canvas for symbols, archetypes, and intuitive downloads. Don't dismiss strange dreams. Don't brush off recurring themes. Write them down. Reflect on their patterns. A snake in your dream isn't just a snake. It's transformation, shedding, power. A falling elevator isn't just fear, it's a warning to ground yourself. The universe speaks boldly in sleep. Listen, and let us speak now of the signs delivered through others. The universe often uses people as vessels to deliver what you need. A stranger's comment, a lyric in a song, a post on social media, a scene in a movie, any of these can carry profound insight. When something someone says strikes your heart with unexpected force, pay attention. It may not be about them at all. It may be a message sent through them, just for you. The universe is infinitely resourceful. It will use any means necessary to reach you. You'll also come to recognize what is known as the energetic whisper. This is a subtle inner knowing that doesn't come from your logical mind. It's not loud. It's not frantic. It doesn't need justification. It just is. It might tell you not to go somewhere at the last moment. It might tell you to reach out to someone. It might tell you to take a leap that makes no rational sense. When you ignore it, chaos usually follows. When you honor it, alignment flows. This is not superstition. It is spiritual intelligence. Your soul is always ahead of your thoughts. Over time, your relationship with signs becomes deeply intimate. You develop a unique spiritual language. For one chosen one, feathers might represent confirmation. For another, it might be music. For another, it could be a specific number or word. The key is to observe what consistently shows up in meaningful moments. Build a dictionary of your own universal signs. What repeats in your high moments, your low moments, your breakthroughs? The universe tailors its messages to your journey. You must learn your personal dialect. But be cautious too. Not every signal is divine. The mind, when untrained, can mimic messages. The ego can dress up desire as destiny. That's why discernment is essential. When in doubt, ask yourself, does this message expand or contract me? Does it bring clarity or confusion? Does it align with love or fear? The true voice of the universe never speaks through urgency, panic, or shame. It speaks through peace, truth, and resonance. If a sign pushes you into fear, pause. It may be your own projection, not divine guidance. There's also a common trap among awakening souls: overdependence on signs. You are not meant to check the stars for every decision. You are not meant to wait for triple numbers before moving. The signs are tools, not crutches. If you become addicted to external signs, you disconnect from your internal compass. The universe wants to empower you, not paralyze you. The signs point to the truth, but you must live it. Guidance is meant to be embodied, not endlessly analyzed. Eventually, your entire life becomes a conversation with the universe. The way the light hits your face in the morning becomes a reminder of grace. The timing of a phone call becomes a message of divine orchestration. The way someone's words reflect your inner doubts becomes an invitation to heal. The sacred and the mundane blur. You realize everything is alive. Everything is communicating. You're not waiting for signs anymore. You are one. In this level of awareness, your very presence becomes magnetic. You no longer just receive signs. You become one to others. Your energy starts to awaken something in the people around you. Without trying, you trigger insights, emotions, revelations. Some will be drawn to you. Others will resist you. Both are signs. Your field has shifted. You are no longer neutral. You are catalytic. And with that power comes spiritual responsibility to remain humble, grounded, and in service. Because this journey is not about ego. It's not about feeling chosen in the sense of superiority. It's about being entrusted with greater awareness. You are chosen to perceive what others overlook. You are chosen to guide, not to control, but to illuminate. The universe speaks to you because it trusts you to share its messages with care, with clarity, with compassion. Your life becomes a bridge between realms, a walking message that others read simply by being in your presence. And still, the signs keep coming. Not because you're lost, but because you're growing. Even masters receive guidance. Even the awakened evolve. There is no finish line. There is only deeper communion, wider perception, greater surrender. You are being trained not just to understand the signs, but to become an embodiment of divine order. That is the highest form of sign reading, when your life itself becomes a living oracle, a reflection of universal wisdom in human form. So when you ask, how do I understand the signs? The answer is this: live as if everything is sacred, because it is. Live as if you are supported, because you are. Live as if the universe is always speaking, because it never stops. You are not crazy. You are not imagining things. You are awakening. And this awakening is irreversible. As the final layers of your spiritual perception begin to crystallize, chosen one, you realize the signs have not just guided you, they have reshaped you. They have dissolved who you thought you were and unveiled who you were always meant to be. What once felt like cryptic, scattered messages now reveal themselves as precise, interconnected codes woven into the fabric of your existence. Nothing has been random. Not a single moment has been wasted. Every delay, every detour, every pain was preparing your vision to align with truth. This is where many chosen ones experience what can only be described as dimensional consciousness. You no longer perceive life linearly. You begin to experience time differently. The past, present, and future collapse into a single awareness. Suddenly, you receive signs not just for this moment, but for moments to come. You sense vibrations in people before they speak. You feel shifts in energy before events unfold. You wake up with clarity about decisions you didn't even know you had to make. This is not coincidence. It's calibration. The universe has trained your frequency to such a high level that the veil has thinned. You are no longer merely navigating life. You are co-creating it. Signs don't just appear around you. They arise through you. You speak, and the world responds. You think, and alignment takes form. You intend, and doors open. This is not magic. It is the science of vibration, consciousness, and divine trust working in perfect harmony. You are walking proof that the universe speaks a living language, and you are now fluent in it. But this level of spiritual maturity also demands deep integrity. As someone who understands the signs, you can no longer pretend not to see. You cannot ignore inner promptings. You cannot stay in situations that drain your energy. You cannot dim your light to make others comfortable. The signs will no longer allow you to compromise. You'll feel it in your chest. You'll feel it in your sleep. You'll feel it in the uneasiness that creeps in when your soul says no, and you try to say yes. The alignment you've cultivated won't let you betray your own frequency. At this stage, signs also begin to arrive before the need. The universe starts to prepare you in advance. You may be drawn to certain books, conversations, or teachings that don't seem relevant until later, when they become essential. You may meet someone whose energy stirs something in you, only to find that they play a key role months later. This is called pre-echo. It's a sacred echo that arrives before the call. The signs are always on time, not your time, but divine time. You'll also begin to experience symbolic reflections in the natural world. The way animals behave around you, the path the wind takes, the way a tree leans toward your window. These subtle movements carry deep messages. Nature doesn't speak in words, but it is always communicating. When a bird flies past you in a moment of contemplation, when a storm rolls in during inner chaos, when a rainbow appears after an emotional release, these are not accidents. The universe works with the elements to mirror the state of your soul. Pay attention. Even silence in nature is a message. And perhaps the most profound sign is this: you no longer need signs the way you once did. You trust. You walk forward, not because you have a clear roadmap, but because your inner compass has been purified. You are not obsessed with confirmation. You are not anxious for validation. You know that what is meant for you will never miss you. You know that the path is not just around you, it is within you. The signs are still there, yes, but your deepest knowing now comes from a quiet place of peace. That is the highest sign of all. Still, the universe will continue to offer gentle affirmations. You may look up at the sky and see a formation of clouds that stirs your heart. You may see repeating numbers that whisper, "You're on the right track." You may stumble upon a word, phrase, or symbol that brings tears to your eyes. These are not just signs, they are love letters. The universe is not only guiding you, it is adoring you. It is reminding you that you are never, ever alone. But the journey is not just about personal awakening. As your sensitivity to signs increases, so does your responsibility to share what you've learned. Not by preaching, not by convincing, but by living. Let your life be so in tune that others feel safer, clearer, and more inspired just by being near you. Let your intuition be so clean that others begin to trust their own. Let your alignment be so strong that others remember what alignment feels like. You are not here to fix people. You are here to remind them. You are a mirror, a frequency, a sign. And in that sacred role, you may find yourself tested. There will be moments when the signs contradict your desires. Moments when the universe leads you toward discomfort, solitude, or loss. Do not interpret these as punishment. They are upgrades. Realignment often requires the dismantling of what is familiar. The path of the chosen one is not paved in ease. It is paved in truth. And truth will strip away anything that is false, including false dreams, false relationships, and false identities. Trust those breakdowns. When something falls apart after you receive a clear sign, it's not the sign failing. It's the sign fulfilling. Sometimes the answer to your prayer is not yes or no, it's let me make room for what's real. The universe will clear space in brutal yet beautiful ways. Relationships will end. Jobs will dissolve. Homes will be left behind. You may feel lost, even abandoned. But what is actually happening is a cosmic relocation. The universe doesn't prune what it doesn't intend to grow. And during this shedding, the signs will intensify, not in volume, but in depth. You'll have dreams with ancestral presence. You'll see objects move slightly out of place. You'll feel time slow or accelerate. You may even have moments of déjà vu so powerful that they bring you to tears. These are not anomalies. These are affirmations that you are touching the edge of something ancient, something eternal. You are not just following signs. You are walking the same sacred path that many before you have walked. You are remembering. In this final stage, you'll also become aware of collective signs. These are signs not just for you, but for the world. You'll begin to feel when a major shift is coming. You'll sense changes in global consciousness before they manifest. You'll feel earthquakes in the spiritual field before they show up in the physical. This is because your energy field is now linked to the collective grid. You are not just an individual. You are a node in the network of awakened beings. When the universe speaks to you, it is often speaking through you for others. It's important then to remain anchored. As signs become more cosmic, more otherworldly, more intense, you must stay grounded in your body. Drink water, touch the earth, move your body, laugh, cry, connect with people who feel real. Don't escape into the ether. Your mission is not to leave the world, but to light it up. You are a bridge between dimensions. Let yourself be human and divine. That is the ultimate balance. And know this, chosen one, the universe never stops evolving, and neither will you. There will always be more to receive, more to interpret, more to understand. This journey is infinite. But you are ready. You've learned the language, you've faced the illusions, you've trusted the whispers, and now you walk not just in awareness, but in embodiment. You are the sign you were waiting for. You are the answer you kept seeking. You are the living evidence that the universe speaks, clearly, consistently, and with unconditional love. Every time your heart swells at a coincidence, every time your skin tingles at a truth, every time your breath catches at a moment too divine to be random, that is the universe, echoing its message back to you. I am here. I have always been here, and I will never stop speaking to you. So walk forward, chosen one, eyes open, heart clear, feet steady. The signs are still coming. The story is still unfolding, and the universe is still speaking, always and forever, to you.